You must solidify to yourself that it's possible. You have to look yourself in the mirror, and Evan can attest to this. He thinks I'm crazy. But you have to be able to willing to look in the mirror, and you have to say, I don't care how bad it is, or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. You have to tell yourself this every day. You have to understand that it's possible. You can't judge yourself by your circumstances. For the majority of anyone that's ever been successful, before they were successful, they weren't successful. Before they were wealthy, they weren't wealthy. Before they had great relationships, they didn't have great relationships. People judge themselves how they are currently. They say, I'm not like those people. Well, you're not that like those people now, but that doesn't mean you can't. And I think a great example of believing in yourself and believing something that happened is so psychologically important. So up until 1951, in 1951 there was a universally widespread belief that you could not run a mile in under 4 minutes. In 1952, a man by the name of Roger Bannister believed that he could do it, and in the Olympics, he ran the first ever recorded mile in under 4 minutes. Since then, over 20,000 individuals have ran the mile in under 4 minutes, including high school athletes. The point is that if something hasn't happened before, it doesn't mean that it can't happen. But more importantly, in terms of being practical application for us all, we know people that have been successful. We've seen people do and have what we want, so we know that it's possible. But you have to tell yourself that it's possible. Because I think Henry Ford said it best when he said, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. So ultimately, it comes down to this. In terms of your success, when it comes down to your dreams, you have to have a non-negotiable attitude. I think Darren Hardy said it best. You need to look at your figurative mountain of success. This is your mountain of success. And you need to say, I am going to the top. You're either going to see me waving down from the top, or you're going to see me lying dead on the side. You see, it is not the person who's the most smart. It's not as the person who's the most talented. It is ultimately not the person who has the most potential that ultimately becomes successful. It is the person that is willing to die to achieve their dreams, and that is the most important thing. And I'm going to wrap this up with a quick story illustrating this point. So, it's a fictional story, but take of it what you will. And I heard this from a 29-year-old multi-millionaire explaining what it takes to become successful. So he said there was once a very, very rich man. He was an old man. He had lots of properties, lots of money, lots of wisdom. And he was near the end of his days, and he said, I want to give this all away. So he told a couple people to tell everyone that he was going to have a massive party at his house, and he was going to give one lucky person the opportunity to have either all of his money, all of his real estate, all of his knowledge, or something else that they want. So everyone came, not an expense was spared, the party was unbelievable, everyone was so excited for something that they could possibly attain. So he goes out on the balcony, everyone's roaring and cheering, and he says, guys, I'm going to give one of these 4 things to anyone, and go to the pool. There's a cover over the pool, and he said, it's an Olympic swimming pool, and he said, anyone that is willing to swim from one side to the other, the first person that does that gets one of these 4 things. Everyone's freaking out, they're ready to race, they're ready to go, okay? And then they uncover the pool. And inside the pool, there's a bunch of creatures. There's sharks, there's crocodiles, there's octopuses and giant squids, and everyone goes quiet. 5 minutes pass. Not a single person had jumped in the pool. Everyone turns to the old man on the balcony as he begins to say how disappointed he is that no one was going to take the opportunity, when all of a sudden they hear a splash. They turn around and they see a little boy swimming for his life, because he's swimming so fast, faster than anyone they've ever seen, because he's literally swimming in his mind for his existence. So he makes it unscathed, he gets out of the pool, he comes back around, and the old man says, so what is it? You probably want the money, right? He's like, no, I don't want the money. And he's like, so you probably want all the real estate, right? And he's like, no, I don't want the real estate. And he's like, you're smart, you want the knowledge, then you can have the money and the real estate. The boy says, no. And the man says, so what is it you want? And he says, I just want to know who pushed me in the pool. Okay? When it comes down to it, everyone needs that little push. Because you literally have to be willing to die for what it is. But the most interesting thing, and the thing you can take away from this, is the old man whipped out a little button, and he pressed a button, and all the creatures in the pool faded away. They were all a figment of everyone's imagination. They were manifested. They were holograms. And I think this is so important because they're not there. They're not real. There's no one stopping you from jumping into that pool. There's no danger there. It's all manifested in your mind. But sometimes you need to push. But you need to find your source of motivation. You need to find that sense of personal development. You can let this be this push. When you hear information, you don't have to be the same again. Only by choice.